Hey kids, yeah, I popped up onto Hulu and checked out some titles, and I had reviewed a movie called Out Comes the Wolves, and just basically based on the cover art of the movie, I assumed it's the same type of movie. It's similar setting out in the woods, uh, and they're both can be viewed as survivalist horror, uh, especially the end of this movie, which is Body at Brighton Rock. Uh, this movie opens really strangely. Uh, the opening titles, as well as the end credits, make it feel almost like it's supposed to be from the 40s. Uh, the, the font of the title, as well as the cast and crew uh, credit areas. Uh, well, this stars Karina Fontes as Wendy. She works at a state park, loads of woods. She's not a ranger. She's somebody who might be a guide, uh, hand out flyers, pick up trash, that type of thing. And because a friend of hers decides that or wants an assignment where she stays at the main office, uh, they switch. And but her friend isn't sure she could handle it, even though it sounds pretty easy to me, and it would have been. All it is she's replacing uh, postings and putting new ones up, and but there's worry that she can't handle it. She's not experienced in the woods that much, and this does go out in the woods a little bit. Uh, a path post had fallen, and that causes her to go out into the beyond the beaten path, and she ends up finding herself lost, uh, and she really doesn't know where she is, uh, and she comes upon a dead body, hence the title of the movie. Uh, but the beginning of the movie feels really strange. Is after that end credits, uh, but leading up to when she gets lost, all that feels like not necessarily a setup for a horror film, from the 80s, because it switches to an 80s vibe, even though it's contemporary. There's there's Oingo Boingo in the beginning of the movie, and a second movie or song from somebody, I'm not sure, but it sounds authentically 80s, so it's probably is from the 80s. I just don't recognize it. Uh, but it feels like if like Caddyshack was only about the caddies, completely about the caddies. It's a short sequence, these scenes in the beginning, but it does feel more like this is supposed to be a comedy. It's even listed as a horror comedy. But I don't. I mean, the rest of the movie isn't. Doesn't have that vibe. It does change, and I was curious if it would work, and it does. You know, but she gets lost. Finds the body. Uh, does get in hold of the main place, and apparently it's too far into the day. Uh, it'll take about 6 hours to get to her, which would be, like, midnight at that point, and they're not gonna come out until, the morning. Uh, this is an area that, has animals, bears, as the poster art, suggested, and, there is claw marks on trees. Uh, at first, they assumed that, the, body may have fallen, but, where the body was at, it didn't make any sense, and there's a question of that, and, of course, it's gonna be in your mind, is the body, uh, was he attacked by a bear? Well, during the, little, conversation about her staying the night, uh, she looks down from where she's at, she's up on high, and there's a person, and we never really get to know who that is, uh, by their encounter, 'cause they eventually, have an encounter, uh, soon after she spots him, uh, and, she doesn't really ask questions that I would have asked, but, uh, so there's a possibility, okay, he had fallen, he is close to the summit where she, is, standing at, so he could have fallen, uh, or did a bear get him, or did this other person get him? Eventually, she gets away from him, uh, spots him maybe a couple more times, in the course of the movie, uh, but she's told to stay with the body because there's a potential crime scene. Uh, she is afraid of the body, it's a dead body, and, it's at night and such, and she has a series of both, at sleep and waking dreams, uh, dealing with the dead body, and, it's her trying to get through hurt the night, with this situation, uh, and the bear happens at the end. Now, there is a point to it, that we wait that long. It's advertised on the artwork, but, there I get the point what they were making at the end. Uh, but ultimately, I really did enjoy the movie. I thought it was a little odd with the, 80s vibe that they put in. I'm not quite sure what the point that was. Uh, the director is Roxanne Benjamin, and I think, that's a good person to, you know, check out their any other work they've done. I noticed she contributed to, XX and, the first 2, VHS, anthology movies. Those were all anthology. This movie was made. I ended up stumbling upon this, for, 500,000, which is not much money at all, uh, especially, today and all that with the rising prices. I think this is from 2019. Uh, Also, I'm not making this a, Tubi Terrors, but apparently this is also on Tubi. So, well, until next time, stay safe and always have a good time. Bye now.